guys, Christina here. Today I want to share with you a 6-month update since I quit smoking. I quit smoking back on March 1st and it was just September 1st. We're about a week into September as I'm recording this now, so it's just over 6 months, but I thought I would share basically what I went through in the first 6 months to give you an idea of what you may come across in your journey of stopping smoking. If you do want to hear about how I quit smoking and why I quit smoking and some of the struggles I had and how I supported myself through some of this temptation, there is a playlist that I've created of my not smoking or quitting smoking journey, which I'll put the link in the description below so you can see that. This is just a rough kind of overview of what I went through in the first 6 months of quitting smoking. Well, first I would like to report that I am still not smoking, and I'm still clear within the decision to not smoke, which is pretty cool. I think this is the longest I have gone without smoking. These days, kind of what's my experience is, I don't think about it very often. There are days and days and days where it's like I forget that I was a smoker or that I'm still in the process of quitting smoking in a way, which is really cool. I mean, it's great. It's a relief. It's, you know, you have this burden taken off of you. It's not something that is kind of like sitting there nagging at you. It's something that I don't think about very often, but it does come up. And in those moments when it does come up, I'm usually facing some kind of conflict with someone else, having like a strong reaction towards something that's going on in my world. So it's those moments where there's like this internal friction within me. Smoking as a solution to that experience comes up, and in those moments they are very few and far between. I rarely have them anymore, but I would say I have them maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks, so maybe once a month. I will have a very strong emotional reaction to something and the desire to smoke will come up. I do have to take a moment to stop myself and ground myself through breathing in those moments, because if I don't, the desire to smoke as a solution is quite still strong. If I were to entertain that long enough, or if I were to not give it proper direction in terms of breathing and realizing again, this is why I quit smoking and this is not a solution anymore, I'm going to find another way to deal with this. If I don't direct myself within all of that, I can see still the strong desire to go for smoking, and I could easily fall into that trap essentially. So I still have to be very careful with myself in those moments when I'm triggered to smoke, to make sure that I'm giving myself the proper direction. I'm not being lenient with myself in those moments, because even 6 months later I still see there's this like almost like the smoker me, the smoker Christina's like, well, you might want to have a little taste of that to get you through, to take the edge off. It's almost like there's that battle. There is a battle going on between what I want to accept and allow within myself and this like deeper inner desire to live out. So I have to be sure that I am clear within myself and making sure that I'm the authority. Ultimately, that's the point, is making sure that I'm the authority in that moment, saying no, that's not my solution. I've given myself a new direction. The first 2 months were fucking hell, okay? The first month was very challenging. I was very on edge. I was very reactive. But I was also like kind of excited. There was like this inner excitement within me that was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna do this. I'm actually gonna quit smoking. Like, I knew this was what I was gonna do, and I was really kind of excited about it. Like, there was this like excitement that finally I'm gonna take this on and I'm gonna stop this habit. So while there was this like very subtle little flicker of a flame inside of me that was excited about this process, it was still very hard. So I would say the first month was me just giving myself the room to do what I needed to do to get through those moments, because the initial changing of the habit is the hardest. It's, you know, completely outside of your routine and completely outside of what you're doing day to day normally. And so I really just like stopped everything. Like I went to work, and that's about it. I watched a lot of movies, I watched a lot of television, I let myself snack as I saw fit, anything to kind of get me through those initial moments, as like comforting myself through that initial change. That supported me. The second month I found I became very emotional. Like I was like going through experiences that were like devastating to me. I was crying almost every day, if not every day. It felt literally every day like a breakdown, like my life was breaking apart and breaking down, and there was nothing left of me. I had nothing to give to my life. I had nothing within me that was standing in terms of like any kind of will or drive or passion to live. I was very devastated. The experience was devastation, and also feeling trapped in that, feeling like I would never get out of it. It would just be my experience. Just lost, just really lost, and just not sure what to do. Fortunately, I have a partner that was and is so supportive, who, you know, would talk me through these moments and just let me cry sometimes when I needed to just cry. And for me, actually, what I was looking at that time, and what I can see now looking back at it, was I used smoking to suppress my experience. Anytime I felt anything that was something I felt not in control of, I smoked as a point of suppressing, so I didn't have to deal with these experiences that I had. To me, that second month was kind of a purging of all this suppressed energy and emotion that I had for so long stuffed down with smoking. I also, as challenging and devastating and lost as I felt, I also was allowing myself to feel those experiences, and to feel that sorrow, and to feel that sadness, and just really let myself cry and not resist it or fight it, because to me it needed to come up and it needed to come out, and it was a process of healing and also a process of grieving. You build a relationship with smoking or any habit for so many years, and then you stop it. There is a loss that happens. You are grieving the death of something. I was very emotional. I was very much crying. I felt very sad that second month, but I was also very accepting of it and embracing of it. And despite feeling it was a dire situation that I didn't see the end of, there was an end. I did start to feel better within the third month, I would say. Towards the fourth month, I started to feel myself again. I started to feel like, okay, now I can reincorporate the old things I used to do. Now I'm stronger now. I can do these things that aren't going to trigger the smoking, like yoga. I would do yoga every night, and I had to stop that for a couple months because it was a trigger. And this is all I've said in my other vlogs, so definitely check those playlists out if you are in the process of your quitting smoking journey. But I just wanted to give you kind of an update and overview of where I'm at and where I've been, and what this first 6 months of not smoking has looked like for me. This was not my first attempt at quitting smoking, but I am hopeful that it is my last. And although still 6 months in, I have to make decisions and moments to make sure that I don't smoke, and I'm not giving myself that justification or reason that validates something that I don't actually want to do. And it's still a journey. I'm still in it. Like, it doesn't end. I realize that until the option of smoking doesn't come up within me as how I deal with myself in certain moments, I am walking a process of transcending it, of releasing it, of letting it go. And I realize it could take a lifetime, which is so daunting. Anytime you quit anything, I know that, you know, that's the one thing that people say is the most challenging, is the thought of, I have to quit this for life. But if you bring it back just to the day, you just focus on today and who you are today and what you can do today, and you don't look ahead so much. Just keep yourself focused in the day. It does make it easier. It does. It makes it easier to not have to think about how much you are losing over the long term, or how long you'll have to go without it. That's the point, is today, who you are today, because you don't have control over who you're going to be in the future, or what's going to happen necessarily in the future. I mean, you do to a degree based on who you are in these moments. You're creating your future. So, you know, in a way too, for me anyway, my quitting and my continuing to say no and to quit is a point of support for my future self. And like, I know I'm going to look back 5 years from now and be so grateful for my past self. For me, you know, actually giving myself that opportunity to stop and to go through the hard times, because it is hard, you know, changing anything can be really hard. So that's my update. I just wanted to say I'm 6 months no smoking. It's been pretty awesome. I can't believe it. I'm surprised and not surprised at how easy it has become and how rarely it is a point of consideration for me anymore. I often forget about it, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the journey that I walked that allowed me to have this resolve within me. And again, check out my playlist if you haven't watched it, because I go into much more detail about what I've done to support myself to quit smoking. Day 1 is just as important as, you know, the 6 month day. I don't know how many days would that be. 180, 200 days. Day 1 is just as important as day 10, as day 20, as day 40, as day 200. Honor the day that you're on and give yourself the opportunity to walk another day. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.